if you're in a situation where you're off of city sewer and you want to do something on your own site, composting toilets are a great way. I mean,
that's got to be a crappy job.
Yes.
Oh, snap. Do you hear that? Dave shaking his head. That was a good one, Dave. I don't care what you say.
There's always a conversation about who's going to empty the composting toilet.
Yeah, that if we had to pick one person, it would be Dave here at this office that would do that. That would be his job, emptying the compost toilet. Yep. But that's like something that people are doing now too. I mean, really.
Yeah, there's a lot of them going institutionally, but available for residences.
And how is this tying into codes, like building codes? Are they making these types of recommendations within the code system now?
It's very complicated, and building codes are so locally interpreted that you really need to have a conversation with your local code official.
So it's town by municipal codes? Is that how it works, or is there standard ones that...
There's the state plumbing board,
I don't know
the state
how that
electric
works.
board. I mean, it depends on where you live, and it's the kind of thing where you want to talk to somebody who's done this kind of work before to find out the right way to streamline it. And it's there's codes about everything, and we do a lot of super insulation of houses.
Okay.
And you'd think
What's that mean, super insulation?
Putting in way more than one thinks one needs.
Really?
Because the benefit is, I mean, if you go far enough to insulate your house, you don't need a boiler anymore.
Really? That's a good point. I guess it's like putting on so many sweatshirts.
Yeah.
I
mean, people go camping in the winter in New England.
Right, yeah.
They go out in the snow, and they've got a sleeping bag, and it just traps their body heat.
Right, yeah.
Right? So you can build a house that essentially does the same thing. It's insulated enough that it doesn't need a boiler anymore. You need to have ventilation.
Yeah.
There's some issues about that. But that's kind of the point where you've insulated your house enough, right?
Yeah.
And there's lots of in-between.
That's interesting, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, so why not? That seems cheaper to do than having a boiler, because so many things happen with, at least for me, so many things happen. I guess you still need it for the water temperature and stuff, right?
You need a hot water making device of some kind. It could be solar. It could be solar with gas or electric backup.
Yeah, right.
Boilers, you have to feed them. You feed them money.
Right.
Every month.
Exactly.
And so, I mean, if you're building a new house, it's much easier to do this super
insulation. If you're building
insulation.
a new house, yeah.
We've been doing some super insulation retrofits. I'm doing it on my own house right now.
Yeah.
I'm putting an addition on my house that won't change my utility bills.
Wow.
Adding more space, but not increasing the bill.
Wow.
And that's the kind of thing that's really going to take a huge bite out of our energy use as a nation.
I'm going to ask you a personal question, because I have an addition on my house that is like, this was before we bought it, but it was not part of the original dwelling. And it was basically a big, huge, great room, family room, off to the side of the house that sits on a concrete slab, so there's no basement underneath. But I tell you, that room in the wintertime gets so cold. I mean, what are some of the things that I could be doing there because there's like a gas fireplace that puts out a little heat,
right.
But that's it. There's no heating the floorboards or anything.
Do you have a chainsaw?
Yeah.
You can just take it down.
Cut the whole thing off? Really?
Generally, you can add in a lot of insulation to the roof and the walls and the windows.
Yeah.
Most of the time,
there's a big bay window. It feels like there's just wind coming through.
Draft, I was going to say, is the biggest one.
I try to put up that plastic in the wintertime, that see-through,
Yeah. You
but
put it
that's
on with a heat gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the neck to do.
Yeah. It works okay sometimes, but it is difficult.
Yeah.
We have a tool called a blower door.
Yeah.
You put it in the door to the house or to a room.
Yeah.
It depressurizes the room.
Okay.
And you can go around and find where all the leaks are and then
Really?
seal them with caulking or spray foam or whatever the appropriate material is.
Huh.
Add weather stripping to windows and doors and cut the leakage down a lot. And
Yeah.
that is really simple.
Yeah.
It's not high tech.
Yeah.
I mean, the fan is.
Do you
right?
guys
But
do that? I mean, you come
Yeah.
out and do it? I mean, or is that too small of a job to go out and do?
We use that diagnostic tool on most of our renovation work.
Yeah. But I mean, if somebody like me,
yeah,
I don't
sure,
need the
you can-
renovation work, but I
Yep.
would like to know, and then is that something that
Yeah.
you do? Is it a few $100 or something? Or?
It is. We do it in-house, but if you are simply looking for an energy audit and a
Yeah.
blower door, we partner with a company called Next Step Living who
Yeah.
has a package that does this air sealing and diagnostics.
Yeah.
And their service is listed as a mass save energy audit, so they get you free compact fluorescent bulbs.
Oh.
It's a great company. I'd highly recommend them. We link to them all the time.
Okay, so if I call you, they can
Sure.
they can do, because I know I heard somebody said they did an energy audit, and I thought that was a great idea, and then I called NSTAR and they're like, no, we don't do stuff like that.
The
And I'm-
traditional energy audits, they've just told you what's wrong. What's great about this company, or like what we do in our renovation work, we find what's wrong and then we fix it.
Yeah.
Right there.
Right.
And that's the key.
All right. I am definitely going to do that. How do I do it? Do I call you up or something, or email you?
Yeah, call me up and I'll hook you up.
All right. Excellent. That's great, because that's something that I absolutely need, and I think a lot of people would be surprised with their homes, where their money is going. You see the commercials where there's money blowing out windows and stuff, and that's what you almost need to see, and you don't realize it, and the drafts, and how do we fix that? We turn the heat up.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense.
Sometimes we do energy efficiency work on somebody's house.
Yeah.
It doesn't change their utility bills, but they're finally comfortable.
Right.
And, they used to not be able to sit next to the window.
Yeah.
And now they can, and that's a really good.
Well,
benefit.
you're bringing up all sorts of good points, because I would do, I would have these huge heat bills, or my electric bill would be huge, and I know it would be from having these, the gas fireplace on, or I would have different things on, and I would have these huge energy bills, and I just remember being cold all month.
Right.
And I'm thinking, what's the point? Why am I having this? And I have this fine line in the sand drawn at my house. No one's allowed to turn the heat on until after Thanksgiving. That's the point. And if anybody touches it before then, they're in trouble, and they know not to look at Dad, because I know that they'll be flicking that fire. And they probably have it on right now, flicking the fireplace on when I'm not there. But it's just, I got to save money there. So, all right. So if I call you up, you'll put me in touch with this group to do the energy audit.
And it may be appropriate for us to do it. There's a lot of different ways you can solve it. And people call me up for solar panels, and usually the first conversation I have with them is, well, how well insulated is your house?
Yeah, right.
Because if you're spending $100 or 100 units on energy, and you could cut that down to 50 just by doing some better insulation, which is inexpensive, air sealing. When you do go buy the solar panels, then they'll take up such a larger percentage of the bill you do have.
Right.
And so it leverages that, and that leverage is really crucial.
Well, because you got to save money every way you can, and whether it's cutting down on your premium channels on your HBO or your cable, or doing whatever, buying better groceries. I mean, this is a way to do it, and I think this is probably one of the most overlooked ways that people can save money. Right?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I want to thank you, Jamie. His number, you can reach him at 617-876-8286. 617-876-8286. The website is shconstruction.com. Thanks so much for coming in. I appreciate it. And hopefully we can get you to come back. I think this is a really good topic to explore on a continuous basis here on the show, because we're getting into the energy season now, right? I mean, this is getting nuts. I suppose it's always year-round, whether it's air conditioning or heat. We're tending to use this stuff up. So thanks, Jamie.
Excellent. Thank you.
All right. And for the rest of you who are listening on the program, we encourage you, if you'd like any information on any of the guests that we have, visit us at www.moneymattersradio.net. You can visit us there. Watch